Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks are well-known names of the civil rights movement. But a lesser name of equal importance is Ruby Bridges. She was the first African-American student to go to an all-white school after the court case Brown versus Board of Education desegregated schools. She was escorted by police day after day and later wrote about her experiences during this time. Her life and legacy and impact have continued to help the education system with the idea of equality and tolerance and unity to this day. Let's look at a little bit of what her impact has been. By continuing to go to that school and share her experiences, she's actually helped our education system. Britannica talked about her impact, saying her memoir, Through My Eyes, was released in 1999, the same year that she established the Ruby Bridges Foundation, which used the educational initiatives to promote tolerance and unity among school children. So her life has had an impact in the books she's written, in the foundation she's helped run, but her story has also had a compelling impact because of the specific values that it upholds, like unity, tolerance, and equality. Daley talks about this idea when he says, at their best, stories convey deep moral wisdom. And surely Ruby Bridges' story has deep moral wisdom. Her life was also dedicated to advocacy, for speaking up for those who perhaps wouldn't speak up for themselves. And I think two areas of her advocacy stand out to me. To quote directly from her, first is the idea that racism shouldn't be spread to younger generations. So quoting directly from Ruby Bridges, I wanted to use my experiences to teach kids that racism has no place in hearts and minds. And the second main idea she talked about a lot was the responsibility we all have to better our society. She said, we may not be all equally guilty, but we are all equally responsible for building a decent and just society. So she clearly had messages that were laid on her heart that she shared with others to see things change. And the universal nature of this message of tolerance and diversity can actually be seen throughout our education system. Because of foundations like the Ruby Bridges Foundations, and because of her story and her testimony, what we can see is that people have made changes to increase diversity, to increase inclusion within education in impoverished areas, in wealthy areas. The education system has been bettered by people like Ruby Bridges. But the impact of her life and her legacy reaches beyond just the education system. See, I believe her life has a longevity. Her message has a longevity because of its narrative. And communication theorist Walter Fisher talks about the narrative paradigm, the idea that all of persuasion is about story. It's about sharing narratives. And Daley talks about this in the textbook when he says decision makers vividly remember narratives and messages derived from them. You see, her story is powerful because it is a story. Her message is powerful because of the story behind it. But beyond this, she also has a foundation that has worked to achieve tolerance and diversity. According to Rose, who wrote in 2021 for The Guardian, she said, quoting from Ruby Bridges again, she felt restless. I was asking myself, what am I doing? Am I doing something really meaningful? And you see, through the work of her foundation and the people that she's impacted, she really has done something meaningful. She's improved the American education system and promoted equality across this country. You see, sometimes all it takes is one step to make a lasting